Very good morning, students. Myself is J. Lavanya, lecturer in botany, Elementary Degree College. Today we are going to discuss about the effect of light on plants. There are so many ecological factors which are showing their effects on the plants, like light, temperature, soil, biological factors, so many factors. Today we are going to discuss about the effect of light on plants, how light affects the plants, light, okay. So, light is an important ecological factor because it affects so many activities in plants. Light shows its effects on basic physiological processes of plants such as photosynthesis, transpiration, seed germination, flowering, and thus is of much concern in ecology. In plants, we can see so many processes are going on. Photosynthesis is the very important phenomena in plants in which plants synthesize food. So, what plant needs? Plant needs carbon dioxide, water. In addition to these, plants need light for photosynthesis. So, for making food materials, plants perform photosynthesis for which light is an important ecological factor. So many physiological processes are there in plants like seed germination, flowering. For all these processes, plants need light. So light is an important ecological factor which affects photosynthesis, transpiration, seed germination and flowering like processes. Light plays important role in species composition and development of vegetation. So for development of vegetation, we need light, more photosynthesis, more vegetation. So what is light? Light is a form of radiant energy. The visible range of light is between 380 to 720 nanometers region. So this is the visible range and essential for the plant's growth. The red and blue parts of the spectrum are useful in photosynthesis. So in photosynthesis there are two photosystems, photosystem 1, photosystem 2. For activation of photosystem 1, 700 nanometers light is important. For activation of photosystem 2, 680 nanometers light is essential. Thus, light is very important for the photosynthesis. The intensity of light is usually measured by an instrument called photometer or luxmeter. So, this is the instrument to measure the intensity of the light. Light affects in the plant life in different ways. In plants, chlorophyll production. So chlorophyll production is important for plants because chlorophyll is needed for photosynthesis. Most of the plants need light for chlorophyll formation. Thus, existence of other life forms which depend upon plants for food is due to light. The seedlings of conifers, young fronds of ferns, some mosses and algae which may become green even in shady places. So more light, more chlorophyll production, more photosynthesis, more vegetation. Thus, light is very essential for plant life. Heating action. Exposure of parts of plants to light raises their temperature, which affect their related processes. So heating action also increases with increases of this light. Effect on transpiration rate. So what is transpiration? Excess water comes out of the stomatal part. Okay, plant loses water through stomata. The process is called the transpiration. Due to light, temperature increases, which in turn increases the transpiration rate. More light, more transpiration. Transpiration rates correspondingly affect the water absorption also. So if transpiration increases, water absorption of the plant also increases. Thus, high light intensities are always associated with dry habitats and high transpiration rates. Stomatal movement. Opening and closing of stomata is regulated by light. This is thus related to transpiration and absorption. Distribution of plants. Light conditions at poles are different from other parts of the earth. So we can see more temperature, more light at the equator part. When we go towards the pole, the temperature, light reduces. Thus, total amount of radiation received by the Earth's surface differs with the latitude. This may be one of the reasons for differences in the vegetation at poles and other parts of the Earth. Normally, we can see more vegetation towards the equator part. When we go towards the poles, the vegetation gradually decreases. Vegetation development of plant parts. Light affects the overall development of plant parts. Depending upon the light requirement, the plants are classified ecologically into two types. They are heliophytes and sciophytes. So let us see what are heliophytes and what are sciophytes. So first of all, heliophytes, the plants which grow best in full sunlight are called heliophytes. So heliophytes need more light, more growth. So they need light. So these are heliophytes. Examples are Dalbergia sisu, Dalbergia latifolia. All these plants require more light. So these are called heliophytes. Sciophytes. The plants which grow best at low light intensities are called sciophytes. So these plants need very less light intensities. In high light intensities they cannot grow. Examples: oxalis. Facultative heliophytes. The plants which also grow best at low light intensities but can also grow well in full light sunlight are called facultative heliophytes. Facultative sciophytes. The plants which grow best in sun but can also grow fairly well under shade are called facultative sciophytes. So this is about the heliophytes and sciophytes. Next, leaf structure. Leaf thickness increases with increasing light intensity. The plants grow in high light intensity have thick, long leaves which have more polished parenchyma. Why? Because light intensity increases, the rate of photosynthesis increases, the amount of chlorophyll increases, more polished parenchyma. So the thickness of the leaves also increases. The plants growing in low light intensity have thin broad leaves which have more spongy parenchyma. This is how light influences the leaf structures in plants. Then photoperiodism. Photoperiodism is defined as the developmental responses of plants to the relative lengths of the light and dark period. So the period of light is very important for the plant's growth. Photo period is the total length of the daily light period to which plants are exposed. Why this photoperiod is important? Because photoperiod has pronounced effect on the vegetative growth as well as flowering of the plants. On the basis of photoperiod, the plants are different types. They are short day plants, long day plants and day neutral plants. So what are short day plants? These plants develop normally only the photoperiod is less than the critical period. So the critical maximum is 12 to 14 hours period. This critical period is important because the short day plants need photoperiod less than this critical period. So they can grow when the light is less than 12 to 14 hours. Then only they can grow. So these are short day plants. Examples: Salvia splendens, Cannabis sativa, Datura stromani. So all these are short day plants. So short day plants require less photoperiod. Long day plants. These plants develop well. Only the photoperiod is more than a critical period. So critical period is what? 12 to 14 hours. If the daylight is more than the 12 to 14 hours, then only these plants can grow. So these are long day plants. Examples: Brassica rapa, Sickle cereal, Sorghum vulgare. So their physical growth as well as flowering is also influenced by the light. When the light period is daylight period is more than 12 to 14 hours, we can see the best vegetative growth and flowering in these plants. So these are the long day plants. Day neutral plants. The plants which develop regardless of length of the period of the light that they are exposed. Okay, in any light they can grow. These are day neutral plants: Cucumis sativus, Solanum tuberosum, Gossypium hirsutum. So these are some of the examples for the day neutral plants. Coming to the succession. Ecological succession is very important phenomena in plant communities. Ecologically, in plant succession, the light requirements of the pioneers are comparatively much more than the climax species. So, in ecological succession, we can observe so many plant communities grow one by one. So finally the climax species are existed. So for the ecological succession also light requirements are important. Thus light is an important ecological factor that affects the distribution of plant fluids, effects on photosynthesis, vegetative shape, tissue differentiation, chlorophyll production, number and position of chloroplast, leaf structure, stomatal movement, transpiration, growth and development of flowers, seeds and fruits. All these processes in plants are affected by the light. So finally we can conclude that this light influences the plant life in many ways. So more light, more chlorophyll production, more tissue production, more vegetation. So light is very very important and for photosynthesis. This is the important phenomena in plants. Then only they can synthesize the food materials. And number and position of chloroplasts also increases with increase of light. Leaf structure, more thickness. More thickness is because of more light. If the leaves are thin means light intensity is thin. Less stomatal movement. So stomatal movement and transpiration, all these processes are affected by the light. More transpiration, more water absorption, and growth and development of flowers, seeds, fruits. Growth and development of flowers, seeds, and fruits are affected by the light. So, light is very essential for the development of flowers, seeds, and fruits. So finally, we can say light is very very important ecological factor which influences all these phenomena in plants. Thus, it is affecting the vegetation growth. Thus, light is very important. So, this is about the light factor, which is an important ecological factor. Thank you.